Hello, we're back with a new section of this course, Viewing Spatial Data. In the previous section, we got started with QGIS by learning to install, running QGIS for the first time, and understanding the user interface. In this section, we'll cover how to view spatial data from different data sources. QGIS supports many file and database formats as well as standardized Open Geospatial Consortium OGC Web Services. We'll first cover how we can load layers from these different data sources. We'll then look into the basics of styling both vector and raster layers, and we'll create our first map. We'll then finish this section with an example of loading background maps from online services. Now let's step ahead to the first video of this section that deals with loading vectors from files. In this video, we'll talk about loading vector data from GIS file formats, such as shape files, as well as from text files. For the examples in this section, we'll use the sample data provided by the QGIS project, which is available for download from this web link. This is a 21 megabyte file. As you browse this URL, the file will get downloaded. Then you need to unzip it and place it on your C drive within the QGIS sample data folder. So this is the path where I've placed, and these are the downloaded files. We can load vector files by going to Layer, then Add Layer, and click on Add Vector Layer. If you like shortcuts, use Ctrl+Shift+V. In the Add Vector Layer dialog, which you see on your screen, we find a drop-down list that allows us to specify the encoding of the input file. This option is important if we're dealing with files that contain special characters, such as German umlauts or letters from alphabets different from the default Latin ones. What we are most interested in now is the Browse button, which opens the File Opening dialog. Note the File Filter Type drop-down list in the bottom right corner of the dialog. We can open it to see a list of supported vector file types. This filter is useful to find specific files faster by hiding all the files of different type. But be aware that the filter settings are stored and will be applied again the next time you open the File Opening dialog. This can be a source of confusion if you're trying to find a different file later and it happens to be hidden by the filter. So remember to check the filter settings if you're having trouble locating a file. Now we can load more than one file in one go by selecting multiple files at once, by holding down Control on Windows. Let's give it a try. First, we select alaska.shp and click on Control and select airports.shp from the Shapefile sample data folder. Next, we confirm our selection by clicking on Open, and we're taken back to the Add Vector Layer dialog. After we've clicked on Open once more, the selected files are loaded. You'll notice that each vector layer is displayed in a random color, which is most likely different from the color that you see on your screen. Don't worry about this now, we'll deal with layer styles later in this section. Even without us using any spatial analysis tools, these simple steps of visualizing spatial datasets enable us to find, for example, the southernmost airport on the Alaskan mainland. Another popular source of spatial data is delimited text, that is CSV files. QGIS can load CSV files using the Add Delimited Text Layer option, available via the menu entry by going to Layer and then to Add Layer, and then click on Add Delimited Text Layer. Now, click on Browse and select elevp.csv from the sample data. So here's the path where this file is located. It's within the QGIS sample data folder in the C drive. CSV files come with all kinds of delimiters. As you can see here, the plugin lets you choose from the most common ones, that is comma, tab, space, colon, and so on. But you can also specify any other plain or regular expression delimiter. We select semicolon. If your CSV file contains quotation marks, such as double quote or single quote, you can use the quote option to have them removed. The number of header lines to discard option allows us to skip any potential extra lines at the beginning of the text file. The field options include functionality for trimming extra spaces from the field values, or redefine the decimal separator to a column. The spatial information itself can be provided either in the two columns that contain the coordinates of point X and Y, or using the well-known WKT format. A WKT field can contain points, lines, or polygons. For example, A point can be specified as point with 2 coordinates. A simple line with 3 nodes would be line string, and a polygon with 4 nodes would be polygon. So here we do the necessary changes. Note that the first and last coordinate pair in a polygon has to be identical. WKT is a very useful and flexible format. If you're unfamiliar with the concept, you can find a detailed introduction with examples at this wiki page. After we've clicked on OK, QGIS will prompt us to specify the layer's coordinate reference system, that is, CRS. Here it says that CRS is undefined. In this video we saw how to load vector data from files.